Corpus Hermeticum Hermetism. The Kybalion helps Freemason prepare to understand the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, as it is cryptically written and is said to give different meaning to each reader. There are also warnings throughout these teachings, which holds the key to Thoth's power through knowledge known as 3 parts of the wisdom of the whole universe: alchemy, astrology, theology. The Kabbalah views the design of the Temple of Solomon as representative of the metaphysical world, and the descending light of the Creator through Sephirot of the Tree of Life. The levels of the outer, inner, and priest's courts represent 3 lower worlds of Kabbalah. The Boaz and Jachin pillars at the entrance of the temple represent the active and passive elements of the world of Atziluth. The original menorah and its 7 branches represent the 7 lower Sephirot of the Tree of Life. The veil of the Holy of Holies and the inner part of the temple represent the veil of the abyss on the Tree of Life, behind which the Shekinah or divine presence hovers. But which godlike creature is it? Rituals in Freemasonry refer to King Solomon and the building of his temple. Masonic buildings where lodge members meet are sometimes called temples, in allegoric reference to King Solomon's temple. And we all know it is not God to whom they pray. Solomon's wisdom. The dream of Solomon. God, or as I see it, Thoth promises Solomon wisdom. Solomon was the biblical king most famous for his wisdom. In 1 Kings he sacrificed to God and prayed for wisdom. God, or Thoth, personally answered his prayer, promising him great wisdom because he did not ask for self-serving rewards, like long life or the death of his enemies. But with great power and great knowledge there is the ability to achieve both. Perhaps the best-known story of his wisdom is the judgment of Solomon. 2 women each lay claim to being the mother of the same child. Solomon easily cut through the dispute by commanding the child to be cut in half and shared between the 2. 1 woman promptly renounced her claim, proving that she would rather give up the child than see it killed. Solomon declared the woman who showed compassion to be the true mother and entitled to the whole child. Solomon was traditionally considered to be the author of several biblical books, including not only the collections of Proverbs, but also of Ecclesiastes and the Song of Solomon, and the later apocryphal book The Wisdom of Solomon, a definitive aid to the religious control system we see today. In Islamic tradition, Solomon is venerated as a prophet and a messenger of God, or Thoth, as well as a divinely appointed monarch who ruled over the kingdom of Israel. As in Judaism, Islam recognizes Solomon as the son of King David, who is also considered a prophet and a king. But contrary to Judaism, Islam denies the claim that Solomon had sinned or turned to idolatry, and is written as follows: "And they followed what the devils taught during the reign of Solomon. It was not Solomon who disbelieved, but it was the devils who disbelieved. They taught the people witchcraft, and what was revealed in Babylon to the 2 angels Harut and Marut, aka Enlil and Enki Thoth. They did not teach anybody until they had said, 'We are a test, so do not lose faith.' But they learned from them the means to cause separation between man and his wife, or divide and conquer. But they cannot harm anyone except with the God's permission. And they learned what would harm them and not benefit them. Yet they knew that whoever deals in it will have no share in the hereafter. Miserable is what they sold their souls for. If they only knew." So written passages describing the descent of one's soul. The Quran ascribes to Solomon a great level of wisdom, knowledge and power. He knew the Mantiqal language of the birds. Solomon was also known in the Islam to have other supernatural abilities bestowed upon him by Allah, after a special request by Solomon himself, such as controlling the wind, ruling over the jinn including demons, and the hearing of distant speeches by ants. Angels, or as I see it through my research, the Anunnaki also helped Solomon in building the temple. The edifice was, according to rabbinical legend, miraculously constructed throughout. The large heavy stones, rising and settling in their respective places of themselves. Angels and magic, according to the rabbinical literature. On account of his modest request for wisdom, which puts him on the same path as Thoth, who I believe admired Solomon and aided him with his knowledge, rewarded him with riches and an unprecedented glorious realm, which extended over the upper world inhabited by the angels, and over the whole of the terrestrial globe with all its inhabitants, including all the beasts, fowl and reptiles, as well as the demons and spirits. This could be interpreted as genetics and portals known as stargates. The Seal of Solomon, a magic ring called the Seal of Solomon, was supposedly given to Solomon and gave him power over demons or Jinn. The magical symbol said to have been on the Seal of Solomon, which made it efficacious, is often considered to be the Star of David, though this emblem, also known as the Shield of David, is known to have been associated with Judaism only as recently as the 11th century CE, while the five-pointed star pentagram can be found on jars and other artifacts from Jerusalem dating back to at least the 2nd and 4th centuries BC, and is more likely to have been the emblem found on the ring purportedly used by King Solomon to control the Jinn or demons. Asmodeus, king of demons, was one day, according to the classical rabbis, captured by Benaiah using the ring, and was forced to remain in Solomon's service. In one tale, Asmodeus brought a man with two heads from under the earth, an Nephilim, to show Solomon, unable to return because through various legends and myths there is said to be some sort of force field preventing entrance to the hollow earth, and as documented by Admiral Byrd after his journey over the South Pole, there is some evident truth to this claim. And so he married a woman from Jerusalem and had 7 sons, 6 of whom resembled the mother, while one resembled the father in having 2 heads. The Nephilim were genetic abominations created by Anunnaki due to their indulgence of human women. After their father's death, the son with 2 heads claimed 2 shares of the inheritance, arguing that he was 2 men. Solomon decided that the son with 2 heads was only 1 man. The Seal of Solomon, in some legends known as the Ring of Enlil, was a highly sought-after symbol of power. In several legends, different groups or individuals attempted to steal it or attain it in some manner. Solomon was the keeper of the ring, like Frodo Baggins, and I believe Thoth, also known as Enki from the Anunnaki Empire, was the creator of the ring. J.R.R. Tolkien, who wrote these books, may have known the truth, and his books could have been an attempt to get the information into the public domain. Early adherents of the Kabbalah portray Solomon as having sailed through the air on a throne of light placed on an eagle, which brought him near the heavenly gates, as well as to the dark mountains behind which the fallen angels Ustu and Atzazel were chained. The eagle would rest on the chains, and Solomon, using the magic ring, would compel the 2 angels to reveal every mystery he desired to know. These angels were the Anunnaki gods, lowercase g, which means those from heaven to earth came. According to one legend, while traveling magically, Solomon noticed a magnificent palace to which there appeared to be no entrance, which could be a stargate or sun gate as it's known in other cultures. He ordered the demons to climb to the roof and see if they could discover any living being within the building. But they found only an eagle. Solomon found an idol inside that had in its mouth a silver tablet saying in Greek that the statue was of Shaddad the son of Ad, and that it had reigned over 1,000,000 cities, rode on 1,000,000 horses, had under it 1,000,000 vassals, slew 1,000,000 warriors, and who would fit that profile none other than Thoth, Enki, Satan, the Illuminated One, the King of Kings, King of the 4 corners of earth, And as I have said previously, I have traced him from 64,000 BC. But through the Sumerian tablets his tales, abominations, and manipulation of mankind goes back much further. Solomon's throne is described at length in Targum Shani, which is compiled from 3 different sources, and in 2 later midrash. According to these, there were on the steps of the throne 12 golden lions, each facing a golden eagle. There were 6 steps to the throne on which animals, all of gold, were arranged. These are tributes to the Anunnaki Thoth, who obviously aided Solomon with his wisdom, because this symbolism matches their own. For example, the golden lion and eagle and the number of the beast 6. Also the Nephilim, or Anunnaki, had 6 digits on each limb, which is how measuring time was created. 60 minutes in an hour. The 4 limbs, with 6 digits on each counted together, gives us our 24-hour clock. The links between Solomon and the Anunnaki Empire are justifiable, and to myself it is not just a theory. To be continued.